Hi everyone, welcome at the second West Africa TESOL conference. My name is Saman and Michel Gougou, and I am presenter at this session. The session is an interactive session. It means that often I will ask you questions and you will write the answers in the chat box. So thank you and let's go. The title of my presentation is Promoting Lifelong Learning for Pedagogical Transformation in English Language Teaching. The outline, we have the introduction, and the first point is English language teaching challenges. Lifelong learning, second point, lifelong learning perspective in English language teaching. The third point is lifelong learning and e-learning in 21st century. And then we finish with the conclusion. The context, in 2022, there are around 1.3 billion English speakers in the world. Among them, 370 million of natives and 898 million of non-natives. In Africa, there are around 237 million of English speakers. And in the world, we have a variety of English language teaching approaches, methods, and techniques. For example, we have the direct approach, the indirect approach, online, a traditional approach also. In this context, the English language teachers have to update and change their approaches frequently. According to Daliwal 2020, we have 2015, excuse me, teachers today have to learn and then relearn a lot of approaches of teaching, learning process. So the objective of this presentation is to enhance teachers and educators' skills by cultivating lifelong learning using online and in-person resources for an effective integration of 21st century skills in English language teaching. Methods are used a research action from a constructivist perspective. It means that the participants and learners construct their own identity and skills knowledge by interacting with the environment and in communities. Participants are 12 English teachers, educators, practitioners in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is a francophone country in West Africa. Data collection, I use the character review, observation, and interview. Analysis method, I use the conversation analysis. Firstly, look at this picture. This picture is about the 21st century pedagogy. What do you think about the number of items around of the 21st pedagogy, the 21st century pedagogy, please? Right? Your answer in the chat box, the number, lot of words. Okay, many things. So in this research and presentation, we use the 6 elements of the 21st century pedagogy to analyze the English language teaching challenges in Ivory Coast context. Collaboration and communication, creativity and imagination, critical thinking and problem solving, digital literacy, citizenship, student leadership and personal development. About the collaboration and communication, are you able to have activities of collaboration and communication during the English class? Are your students engaged? What are the challenges that you encounter? Please write your answer in the chat box. Okay. All right. The class size, the time management, the resources. Okay. In our research, the participants, we have a sentence. We do not have enough time. So the time management, for these activities in we have a crowded classroom. So the time management and the class size is a challenge. The student level is low and they do not have motivation to participate. So another aspect is the student engagement motivation. Outcomes, low student engagement in collaboration and communication activities in English class. Then we have here creativity and imagination. Look at the picture. Create a world. Are you able to have activities of creativity and innovation in your class to develop the English language proficiency? What are the challenges that you encounter? Write your answer in the chat box again. All right. Okay. I see that the class size, the environment, also the material, the lack of materials, yes, the motivation. Okay. So here, storytelling in picture description helped me to develop the creativity and imagination. I do not have enough materials for my teaching, and time management is a challenge. So we have here lack of material and time management, and outcomes low engagement in creativity and imagination activities because of a lack of vocabulary, materials, and motivation. Critical thinking. Okay. Critical thinking and problem solving is the way now to empower your students, allowing them to have a positive attitude in a multicultural context. Do you have activities in order to increase their skills? And also, do you encounter difficulties when you try to share the skills to your students? Write your challenges, please, in the chat box. We are educators, so we have to educate them with English language, but also we have to show them what are the good values. Oh, yes, in the chat box, I see. Good answers, very interesting. I noticed that the environment in the class management is a very important aspect also. All right. So in our research, only some learners participate actively in a multilingual context. The others lack vocabulary and motivation, while the culture barrier prevents them to participate. The time management is a big challenge. So low student ability to understand and apply critical thinking skills and English vocabulary in their environment. Next, we have digital literacy. What are the challenges that you encounter with digital literacy or digital integration in your English language teaching? Write your answer in the chat box, please. Okay. The lack of material, the question of mastery, the question of the curricula, the motivation. Okay. Here, we have a lack of material and internet, imbalance, technology mastery, and inclusion in teaching. Outcomes, imbalanced technology access and mastery challenge result in low technology integration in English teaching. So both teachers and students do not have this possibility often to use online resources in the learning process. Citizenship. How do you do to teach values and also empower students is so that they be good citizens? You can see on this picture, school, world, family, nation, community. So they have to be able to use English learning to empower people in their communities and to impact. Do you have activities for that? No? Yes? And if you have activities, do you encounter challenges? Okay, you can write your answer in the chat box. The time management is a challenge. The lack of practice in communities, because often they receive the knowledge at school, but it's not possible for them to practice when they are in the communities. And also the environment or neighborhood influence more the students' behaviors. Outcomes, low interest and practice of English language in the community to share citizenship policies taught in the English class. Student leadership and personal development. As educators, we have to educate them to empower them. Do you have any program to develop the English leadership or student leadership, like English clubs and so on, activities at school, allowing students to collaborate? And what are the challenges that you encounter? Yes, the question of the time management again, the question of motivation, the question of the school policy. Okay, so we have a lack of student engagement in English club activities. The challenge during the English class, lack of volunteer to lead in group activities or present the findings. Outcomes, lack of student confidence in English language using in daily life and the community. So lifelong learning perspective, we have to read a very interesting quotation. This quote is from Albert Einstein. Let's read together. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. So as teachers, we have to learn every time. It is a continuous development and improvement of our knowledge skills. It can be formal or informal. Lifelong learning, it must be voluntary and self-motivated as teachers in order to impact our English teaching effectiveness and also the learners and colleagues around us. The 4 pillars. Firstly, lifelong learning, we have to learn to know. So we learn to know and also to master the tools in order to improve the application of the knowledge in our English language class. Learn to do. We have to apply everything that we learn online or offline to adapt the findings in our teaching approach and also to overcome the future learning challenges. We learn in order to live with others because it allows us to have a personal development capacity, to get new skills, and also to foster the community capability. We get also the critical thinking, and we share that to our students. So we are very good contributor for a peaceful world. We learn to be also, firstly, I think that will be a very effective teacher. We learn to get new skills in the professional development. So some benefits, it helps to develop new skills and abilities at school and so on. Opens the mind, so we start to have creativity, to be engaged, to learn new things, and to apply transformative practices in our English language teaching in order to improve the learners' effectiveness, but also the proficiency, mostly the learner proficiency and the school results and so on. To increase our wisdom, to make the world a better place, yes, very important. Helps people to adapt to change. Because transformative approach means change and adapt. So we need to change as English teachers, and also we empower our colleagues and others as students, all our own friends also, to apply the best practices that we find during our lifelong learning process. Keeps us involved and active contributors to society as English teachers. So we empower students, we empower our colleagues, and we impact positively the communities, the school, and also all of this educative system. It is for a sustainable social impact. Helps us to make new friends. Yes, it is a good way to meet people around the world. For example, during this conference, we have a possibility to meet a lot of colleagues in all the world and to collaborate with them. Okay, benefits. All right. So now, online learning has also another definition. It is the e-learning. E-learning, have you already taken that? Certainly some of you have helped me to learn online. E-learning refers to the online learning or electronic teaching. It refers also to the acquisition of knowledge which takes place through electronic technology and media. In another word, learning that is enabled electronically. So we have to see what are the tools that we can use for our lifelong learning as teachers. We can use the social media, YouTube. You can get many resources on YouTube. LinkedIn, you can use Facebook, you can use the blogs also, the wikis, and so on for your lifelong learning project. You can also use a community of practice. In Africa, we have Africa English Language Teachers Association. We have also the West Africa TESOL. And I would like to say that in each country and each school, it's very important to have a community of practice for teachers in order to share professional development opportunities, because the community of practice are very useful to have information about workshops, professional development, trainings, and the sharing of resources to empower each other. And you can also visit this page, Canvas Network, because the best educator never stop learning. It is a platform for lifelong learner, so you can take some courses. Some of them are free, most of them are free, some of them are not free. So you can, here in English language teaching, you can visit Open Online Professional English Network. It is a platform of United States Department, so United States Department of State. And you can find online courses, the MOOCs, but also resources to teach, opportunities to collaborate with peers in the world, but also the factor to get professional development opportunities. We're British, we have a British Council, so you can find a British Council open online courses. It is for English teachers, and it helps to improve our ability to teach, but also our teaching approaches by interacting with others. So we find new practices, new methods, and effective techniques. Here, Commonwealth of Learning. You can visit this page also. Links, the literature. Links is a community of practice. It is a community offering online courses, materials, resources, and so on. So now we have to cultivate lifelong learning, but how? Firstly, you need to create time, because the problem is the time management. So in the week, you have to manage your time so that you'll be able to teach, have time for your teaching, and also have time to learn, and have time to play, so have rest, and time to explore new ideas and get new knowledges. You have to develop also your network, personal learning network. It can be online or offline. Collaborate with others. They can be peers They can be online, offline, but we collaborate by sharing ideas, receiving also new recommendations, and it will help you to get more opportunities for the online learning and also lifelong learning. Reflecting is very important to evaluate frequently the effectiveness of your teaching, English teaching approach. So you can evaluate by discussing new ideas and new ways of teaching with your colleagues, with peers, with students, and with students. That I say with students, your own students, they can evaluate. So partnering with students as they are in universities, they are able to share with you new ideas and new practices in the English language teaching, in the TESOL also, in the English language, whatever the environment. Professional reading, because we are teachers. Teachers are leaders, and we must read frequently books. We have to read also digital materials on blogs, take online courses, see online sources. We have to visit online websites providing information about the field of English language teaching. Also, online learning, as I said, you have to participate at the conferences, workshops, also online courses and so on. But you need, again, take time to share because we learn to share and we have to share in our own school often, but we share with others. They can be colleagues, peers, students, the administration, because if we want to transform the English language teaching in our environment, it's by sharing and discussing with our colleagues and see how we can adapt our findings in our context. Conclusion, English language teaching challenges. Here we have student engagement, environment resources, and time management. Lifelong learning perspective in English language teaching. We have we have to learn to know, learn to do, learn to live, and also learn to be for a sustainable English language teaching effectiveness in 21st century. As teachers, we must learn to be and to impact positively the English language effectiveness in our own school, in our environment, and also sharing our findings to others. Nurturing lifelong learning and e-learning in a transformative 21st century. So, you can use online learning support, social media, MOOC, English language, cheap resources, communities of practice also. It's also very important to have a motivation to build a personal life learning action plan to support your lifelong learning projects in order to include the 21st century pedagogy in your English language teaching. So right now, are you ready to adopt lifelong learning in your teaching? Write your answer in the chat box, please. Can you take the engagement to explore online trainings for your English language skills? Write the answer in the chat box. Can you take the engagement to promote lifelong learning in your teaching context? You can write the answer again in the chat box. Can you take the engagement to apply 21st century skills in your English class? Write the answer again in the chat box. So, the bibliography now. Thank you. If you have any question, I'm available and you can reach me out by using this email. Thank you again for your interest. Thank you so much. Thank you. And right now, it is the end of the presentation, and I'm open for your questions. Thanks.